Tigers clawed out of Cincinnati this past weekend with a surprising couple of wins to kick off the new season, one of which was courtesy of some strong work from Spencer Turnbull. Let me lead off here though by saying the 27-year-old Turnbull struggled mightily throughout the 2019 season, particularly after the calendar turned to June, and much of that could have been attributed to his pitch usage. His fastball and slider graded as a pretty solid 1-2 combo with a decent curveball that helped bolster his strikeout rate, but he featured his sinker way too much, throwing them nearly a fifth of the time despite serving up an opposing 964 OPS with the pitch. On Sunday afternoon, however, Turnbull was all about his four-seam and slider. A whopping 81.6% of his 87 pitches against the Reds were fastballs and sliders, the tandem resulting in all 8 of his strikeouts on the afternoon, with 14 combined swinging strikes. Only 8% or 7 of his 87 pitches were sinkers, an encouraging sign considering the Reds saw more of his curveball and changeup in comparison. Turnbull still isn't an entirely safe fantasy option, what with him giving off the allure of a two-pitch pitcher figuring out his other secondaries. But his tandem was working on Sunday against a tough offense, and if he continues to tuck away his sinker, he could prove to be a sneaky good free agent acquisition as the season rolls on. Throughout his major league career, Tyler Chatwood's control has gone on all sorts of adventures, leading to abbreviated starts with high walk totals, and unlike Turnbull, unfortunately, doesn't really offer the strikeout upside needed to offset those woes. He generally looked fantastic against the Brewers on Sunday though, relying heavily on a sinker-cutter approach that maximized contact management and whiffs. His sinker was able to stymie the Brewers' bats to an 86.5 miles per hour average exit velocity, while his cutter was good for more than half of his 8 strikeouts with a 23% swinging strike rate. It's an absolutely lethal offering, as you can see right here in this frustrating at-bat for superstar Christian Yelich in the first inning, and then later on in the 5th against Lorenzo Cain. Chatwood's other offerings, however, at least besides his four-seamer, aren't very useful, and at least on Sunday he realized this, as they only accounted for less than a third of his total pitches. Furthermore, he only threw 60% strikes with a 38% zone rate, despite allowing just a couple of base on balls, so I bet on his control, or lack thereof, continuing to play a substantial role in how long or how short his leash will be in future starts. Locked into a rotation spot with the Cubs, I see some solid streaming potential here if Chatwood is primarily a sinker-cutter guy like he was on Sunday, but not much else has changed with him, so personally, I wouldn't rush over to the waiver wire unless my pitching staff was severely ailing. Garrett Richards, on the other hand, is an arm that you owe yourself to at least try out for a start or two. Looking much fresher than he did in his Tommy John shortened 2019 campaign, Richards was in midseason form against the D-backs, racking up 6 Ks in 5 innings on 11 swinging strikes while allowing just 4 base runners in total. His patented slider looked every bit as elite as it ever has, with over a quarter of them being whiffed on and only a couple of them being put in play. An even more encouraging bit of info to pull from his start is his curveball usage, having accumulated over 15% of Richards' pitch count while totaling half of his strikeouts on the day. This could easily be his bread and butter pitch, but fortunately for Richards, its overall stuff is so good, he can use it as often or as seldom as he wants. His four-seam fastball and sinker both consistently ran in the mid-90s, and of the 5 balls put in play between the two, only one of them accounted for an expected batting average at 200 or above. Between the whiff-happy secondaries and the extreme levels of soft contact induced by his hard stuff, Richards immediately reminded fantasy owners on Sunday why he's always been a favorable starting pitching option. Obviously, concerns surrounding his health and the ability to finish a full season will linger from start to start, but we're talking about a 60-game campaign here, and I really like what I'm seeing from the 32-year-old veteran so far. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you like what you saw, leave a like and maybe leave a comment to get a hearty discussion going. If you'd like to see more of these abbreviated deep dives, feel free to subscribe. As always, quick shoutouts to BaseballSavant.com for the wealth of live in-game data, and to MLB for all the footage provided in this video. Lastly, I'd like to thank each and every one of my subscribers for helping me reach the 100 subscriber threshold. I'm still trying to get a firm grasp of what exactly I want this channel to be, but I know for certain that none of that trial and error will matter without your continuous support and interaction. I know I've been lean on the content lately, but I assure you that I'm always striving to pump out the best fantasy baseball videos I can humanly create. So thanks to all of you guys who stuck it out with me up until this point. Again, thanks for watching, God bless you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.